Hi guys, this is Sabine from zennumerostar.com. Today's video is about being pursued by your specific person by letting them do the pursuing and chasing. I had two topics today to choose from, but this week I wanted to give you some tips because I have received lots of emails from clients wanting to see movement from their Valentine. So this week is how to be pursued by your Valentine, and next week it will be about how to be aligned with the very special date of the 22nd of February 2022. And on that subject, a massive thank you to one of my lovely clients who suggested that video, which also combines my other passion and work, which is numerology. Okay, so getting back on being pursued. With all the videos I have out there, I'm pretty sure that I have already mentioned what you are about to hear. But in truth, when naturally manifesting is not easy for you, like it wasn't for me when it comes to relationships, hearing the same thing a few times can be a good thing. I will start by saying something that you all know by now, but even though it's easily understood, it's more difficult in attitude, and that it's the fact that there cannot be two pursuers. As the late Neville Goddard said, you cannot serve two masters, meaning wanting to be pursued while pursuing at the same time. Now, let's see what pursuing means to us. Wanting to be pursued usually means that you want your specific person to initiate contacts, to make some decisions, including the two of you, that you want your SP to show interest in you any way they can. This also includes that you want proof that you are important to your SP. It's relaxing for the mind to know that we are being pursued by being ourselves, right? And that's what I want to detail today, because this is usually where you can go wrong without understanding or without realizing that what you're doing is counterproductive. See, there are two aspects that you need to be careful about. The first aspect has to do with your thoughts, and the second aspect has to do with your attitude. When you want your SP to pursue you, watch your thoughts. If you have inner conversations implying that your SP is pursuing you, you're good to go. That would be, for instance, you imagining a conversation with your Valentine saying that they've been waiting for a long time to finally spend loving quality time with you, that you are their Valentine and they feel so lucky to be in a good relationship with you, and so on and so forth. But the thing is, usually when you call me, you tell me that you want to be pursued by your SP, but then you admit to me that you feel disappointed because your SP is not initiating calls, and that you have to either contact them first or force yourself, imagining that they pick up the phone, sometimes even apologize for not contacting you for a while, and so on. Well, sometimes that scenario can work, but I would like for you to take a step back and imagine that someone asks for your help. Well, guess who that person is? Yes, of course, it's our friend Mary. So Mary has a doubt. She wonders which of her inner conversations is more appropriate for John to pursue her. Indeed, John seems to be a bit more distant lately, but Mary has no clue that John has massive stress at work and that he doesn't want to tell her about it. So inner conversation number one is John calling her after not contacting her for a few weeks and asking her to forgive him, that he was a fool because he was very stressed and that he needed to sort himself out before being with Mary again. Inner conversation number two is she imagines being with John, or John texting her and saying that it's so difficult for him whenever he is away from Mary for work, that he looks forward to seeing her again super soon, that she's the only person he loves thinking about because she's the only one who can bring a big smile on his face, and so on and so forth. Okay, you will probably agree that inner conversation number 2 is the winner, right? Now, I'd like you to be true to yourself and see what type of inner conversations you have developed. Maybe you are more about affirmations. Same thing. What type of affirmations do you have? Now, the other aspect I want to talk to you about is the attitude. For me, an attitude means the way you act. If you initiate contact, your attitude is usually opposite to manifesting, except if you don't mind whether or not your SP is going to answer or reply at some stage. The opposite attitude is also to have obsessive negative thoughts about your situation, whereby you don't think non-stop with loving thoughts, but rather than that, you observe the absence of your SP all day long and you are still hurting about it. The opposite attitude is also to talk about the absence of your SP to whoever you are talking to. Every time you talk negatively and about the absence of your manifestation, understand that you are conforming that very situation that you are trying to change. Another opposite attitude is when you try to let go or detach by forcing yourself not to think about your SP so much anymore, but repressing your thoughts is a no-no. Detaching has nothing to do with trying to forget, but making peace with the old so that the new can settle in. So what's the right attitude? Well, it is about you knowing what you want and getting on with your best life. That way it gives room to your SP to fully pursue you and wanting to be with you, well, with a new you. By living your best life, what you need to understand is that you will stop resenting your SP for not showing up right now. You will stop being angry at the last words that you exchanged and those type of things. You need to have closure on the old if the old is not good in order for the new to settle in. And when I talk about the new you, I mean the you who is not so insecure about the relationship and you in relation to that relationship. Now, a last word about your self-concept to be pursued. Again, working on your self-concept is not about you changing who you are. I have recently been told by a client that some people believe or even say on YouTube that it has to do with you improving the version of yourself from, for instance, being dumped to being pursued. That's not it at all. Irrespective of who you are or where you are on your journey, you can be pursued by your SP. You can be pursued today by your SP. You don't need to improve who you are, which would imply that there is something definitely wrong with you and that you need to identify that super big weakness of yours, work on it to hope being in a loving relationship. What? Since when? No, this has nothing to do with you improving anything about who you are as a person. Now I'm going to use strong words and I apologize in advance, but I really want to drive this home. Every time I am asked something like that, I ask, have you killed someone? Have you ever raped someone? Have you ever intentionally hurt someone? No? Okay. Are you good with children, vulnerable people and animals? Yes? Then, my friend, you are good enough and that's the end of it. And let me tell you, even if you believe that you're not pretty enough, or if you're too fat, or not enough this, or too much of that, all those elements have nothing to do with relationships. I mean, seriously now, look around you. We are not living in a world with top models dating other top models who also have only good qualities, never stress out about anything. Remember, we're on planet Earth. The only thing, seriously, the only thing you need to change within your self-concept whenever you are not manifesting something or someone is your perspective. Again, not a weakness, but the perspective you have about yourself, about the situation, and about your SP. That's it. The rest is far too complicated and not needed to manifest. I will end this video by giving you another tip. If you're not with your Valentine for this Valentine's Day, don't feel down. No need for it. Buy flowers to yourself, make a good dinner for yourself. Take that day as an opportunity to rehearse for next Valentine's Day. Remember that you do create your future in the now by imagining your future and transposing it in the now through the way you feel. And for those who are with your Valentine's Day but don't get what they were wishing for, or maybe it's not as romantic as you were hoping for, focus on the positive. Lots of souls out there have no Valentine this year, so enjoy having one and don't give them the entire responsibility to make you happy. One of my rules is to be open with my SP by explaining exactly what I like, what I love. And that usually doesn't imply expensive stuff. Your Valentine wants to make you feel happy and in returns feels they've done a good job if you smile at Valentine's Day. So the intention is important here. I also had an SP once, or that was many years ago, who said that he thought it was more important to treat me like his precious Valentine every day of the year instead of one day of the year. And why not? Feeling pursued all year round, I say yes to that. How about you? So I hope this video has helped you understand that you can manifest whoever you want for a Valentine. If it's not for this Valentine, it will be in somewhere soon in the future. But irrespective where you are on your journey, you're good to go. You only need to change your perspective and you'll get your Valentine in no time at all. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If that is the case, please leave me a thumbs up. And also, I love and read all your comments. So if you have, so next week it's going to be about the 22nd of February 2022. But if you have other suggestions for the coming weeks, by all means, I would be really happy if you could let me know. And now, as always, I'm going to end with my favorite words. You know that I believe in you. I know that you can do it. So on that note, happy manifesting.